watching a Youth TV, empowering you. You're watching a Youth TV, empowering you. You're watching a Youth TV, empowering you.
Good afternoon to everyone who is watching us. This is Mbara University of Science and Technology. My name is Bridget Nsimenta, and we are live on AET TV, that is empowering youth in technology. Maybe it is your first time to view in to AET TV. We are always here to let you know whatever is happening in your area, whatever is taking place. And now here at Mbara University, we are here in support of the project that is really being held at the university premises, and we know that it is for the best and the best of the students within here and even out there. For example, the people who are just watching us from wherever you are, this is a business related project. It is a guest lecture, and it is based on entrepreneurship. Previously, maybe if you have been following us, we had a project launch that was the Must IUC-UCoBS project that was launched at Chihumuro campus previously. I think it was a day ago, but now this is just like an extension, but which is a guest lecture. We have always heard about entrepreneurship, but how relevant is it? Maybe we could know more from one of the organizers, and that is the IRO of MUST, who is none other than Madame Sheila. Yes, good afternoon to you, Madam Sheila.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
It's my pleasure having you on AET TV.
Thank you so much. You're doing great.
Thank you so much. So please, do you mind telling us about this project, the guest lecture that we are going to have today?
Thank you. So this is one of its kind. It's the starting of UCoBS project, the 12-year project that has 6 sub-projects. So this is the project 5, and the title of project 5 is Improved Youth Employability through Skilling, Innovations and Entrepreneurship. Okay. So we are having this guest lecture from Professor Liz from Howest, and she'll be talking about unlocking the entrepreneurial mindset. It's not just about classwork. When you study, how do you go out and you start your own business? How do you make your own money? So we are ready to learn, and of course with our own staff at MUST.
So are we waiting to have the skills on how things will transpire, and like life after school, how things will transpire?
Yes.
Okay. So why did you choose this project, especially to do with entrepreneurship? Why did you majorly focus on entrepreneurship rather than other focus areas?
This is the way to go.
Oh.
Yes. With the youth, the topic you're told is about youth employability. How do you live out entrepreneurship? How do you live out starting your own businesses? How do you live out not having a locked-in mind about getting a job and looking around? So it's very important to learn how to make your own money.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a feeling that we have been told, people have motivated us as maybe since I've been part of the students previously, but then I don't know, maybe people come up with innovations and very many great projects, but they are not funded. How will you go about that?
This is a big opportunity for people to get partners. It's Mbara University with over 10 partners in Belgium, 10 universities. So let them connect under this project. Let them get to reach Dr. Manasseh, the leader, and the team members. Let them have the opportunities that will be available, different trainings that will happen, and they will learn to get more partners or how to write proposals.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think now we can get live, we can see what they have for us today. It is unlocking the mindset of the youth on employability. I hope that from today we shall be impacted so greatly. And for those who want to start up business projects, then that is the only way to go. Stay tuned, do not touch the dial. It is AET TV empowering you. Bridget Nsimenta is my name.
You're watching AET TV, empowering you. watching a Youth TV, empowering you. You're watching a Youth TV, empowering you.
So still, as we are waiting for the event to start, we shall not just let you get maybe get off track, but we have to keep you on track, telling you what this is all about. You know, when I just read about the theme, unlocking the mindset of the youth, employability, to provide them with opportunities for being employed, it really caught my attention so much, because there are very many youth that come up with different business projects and maybe they are not funded. Let me talk to one of the lecturers here and they tell us more about how they are doing it within the institution. Yes, good afternoon, sir. I think we can turn and look this side in the camera. Okay. Yes. I think we shall do this after our IRO has spoken, but then you can say hello to the people.
Hello, we shall connect after. Thank you.
Okay, okay. All right. We can proceed with the occasion.
Did anyone follow the live streaming? Did anyone know about the launch? Yes, I'm so grateful that you got to know about the launch. It's a 12-year project funded by Vanhaelemeesch in Belgium. We have different partners. I can see some behind our team leader, Professor Gilikun. Please, could you come in front? Other members, Tina, please also come. Okay. We are grateful that today we are hosted by Faculty of Business and Management Sciences. Please let's clap our hands as we recognize the presence of our dean, Dr. Frederick Sidenko. Also with us is the local coordinator. They call him local coordinator, but that's the leader. That's what we're using to for investigator of the project. And that's our very own Professor Charles Chabomwe Kazoba, our Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Finance and Administration. We have our very own guest today, Professor Liz. Professor Liz has a unique name, and that is Vanhaelemeesch. She's from Howest, a university in Belgium, the Flanders. It's called Howest. You are very welcome. This project of UCoBS has 6 sub-projects, as the leader will talk about it. But this particular one that has brought unlocking the entrepreneurship mindset is led by Dr. Manasseh Tumhimbise. Allow us to welcome him. Thank you so much with your team members for coordinating. Thank you, staff. Kindly raise your hands. The staff of Faculty of Business and Management Sciences. Thank you for choosing to come. And the students, please, a big round of applause. Want to hear in the house. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, that's beautiful to know. Without taking much time, I now welcome our Dean to give us his remarks. Dr. You're welcome.
That's it? That's it? Oh, that is great. Yeah, that's it. That's also. Protocol staff, you are most welcome to the Faculty of Business and Management Science. without wasting time, we are going to look at the topic today. I thought the topic would be here, but they are looking at entrepreneurship and employability for the youth. Okay? Why youth? Mainly because 1.3 billion are youth in the world and they are unemployed.
Just in katika hara ya gombe. No.
Is normally looked at three blocks. One, from the marriage. As long as I get the degree, I will be able to get a job. Okay? From academic point of view, we are looking at employability as a person who can work anywhere. Okay? From the employer side, they look at employability as a specific skill. When you are employed, you are ready to perform. So, given that background, we are going to hear from Professor. He's going to tell us, of course, here we normally have. I think you deserve to be called Mbabas. Okay? Mbabas means what? Yes. So you are Professor Mbabas from the Faculty of Business and Management Science. So without wasting time, let me request Professor Kazova to invite our guest.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Dear friends of the University of Science and Technology, and by the way, students, you are a great stakeholder of the university. Sometimes when I stand in front of a lecture room like this one, and I'm talking to you, students and others, I'm fond of saying you are my academic girlfriend, academic boyfriend, because we are here for purposes of academic. I'm not going to go into the details of what the project is all about. Our International Relations Officer has already mentioned it. But I thought since we are talking about business, we are talking about entrepreneurship, we are talking about innovation, how you and me can be a great innovator, can be a great entrepreneur, can be a great champion in your field, can really be a strugglist, can be a strong hustler. It reminds me of the following story, but a true story, colleagues. There was an entrepreneur, and that entrepreneur was what you call a monopolist, the only person, in that business, in that particular area, and he was in one of the towns in Uganda. You can imagine we are the only one, and was selling items which you find in a supermarket. And you and me, we know items we find in a supermarket. Name any item you find in a supermarket, but you see, I'm the only one, a monopolist. And the shop where this person was operating from had there were those three shops, but this person was in the middle, but an entrepreneur. Sometimes when you are a monopolist, there's a tendency of relaxation. Either somebody will buy, they don't have anywhere they are supposed to buy these items. Of course, a day after day, month after month, what happened? Everybody who was coming was entering through that door and buying the items. But of course, there were others who were watching what was happening with this monopolist. You can imagine they are watching. And they say, every day they would see people walking in, and at the back of their mind they say, this person is making a lot of money. Now, those who were not innovators, who were not enterprising what they decided to do, one of them came up and said, since this person is making a lot of money, let me open the same shop, but adjacent to the first one, which was in the middle, and sold the same items of course, at the back of his central processing unit, the CPU, which you and me we are used to, just again established a supermarket selling the same products. And you know, other way of beating the first one, who was an innovative, who thought hard about his enterprise, and he had to write, the second was a he place, had to write some words on the door, some words on the windows, and these are the words which were put on the door. Just put there the words, cheap commodities sold here. Now you can imagine once you put on the door, you put on the window, and you are putting the cheap commodities sold here. So a day after day, whoever was coming to buy the items would say, cheap commodities sold here. Of course, when you don't have enough money, you look for cheap commodities. So this person would enter. But of course, the first one was watching what was happening. Now, here came again the third one, because there was one shop remaining. And again, this third one established the same products. But you see this mentality of copy and paste. Just get me right, copy and paste. Because the first one was selling cheap commodities, now this third one came in strong. He said, this one is selling cheap commodities, ladies and gentlemen. Let me sell high quality products. Now, again, open the supermarket, the third one in the same area, and put there, wrote, copying what the second one had done, wrote on the window, wrote on the door, and these are the words which was put on the window. And he said, high quality product here. Now you can imagine, the middle one had nothing, the first one, but the second one, cheap. The third one, high quality products. Ask yourself, if you are looking for something to buy, either they are cheap commodities because you don't have the money, or they are high quality products. But the first one was watching. He said, okay, I sat down, I had my business plan. I had my way of trying to create an impact and make money. What I was looking at was the profit, but I was innovative. Now this person, the first one, went home and came up with two magic words. Two magic words you can imagine. Others you can, cheap commodities sold. How many words are those? High quality products. How many words are those? Now this third one came in strong. Just looked for two words. To use the advertisement for the second one, the advertisement for the third one. And the magic words, the two magic words, simply put their main entrance. Main entrance. You can imagine you and me, when you are looking for cheap commodities sold here, you are looking for the main entrance. If you are looking for high quality products sold here, you are looking for what? For the main entrance. That was innovation. That's what we expect from people like you, from myself who is standing here. Try to be innovative. Try to think about the business which are supposed to come up. By the way, there is no gambling in business. No, it's real business. So what is your main entrance, ladies and gentlemen? Craft, what is your main entrance? The different courses that you have been, you are being taught, you are being taken through. Think seriously, try to be innovative. Ladies and gentlemen, what is your main entrance? What is your main entrance? If you are thinking big, you start small, but the most important thing, your main entrance. You need to be enterprising. You need to craft businesses which have got an element of innovation. An element of innovation. So with those many words, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a privilege to invite a colleague whom we are working with on this IUC-UCoBS project to come and talk to us. But I would also want to single out this side coordinating or the investigator. On the Flemish side, we have got Professor Gire over there. They had introduced her, that and other team members whom we have, and I'm not going into that. So we need to thank you for accepting, despite your busy activities, to come and talk to our students, to talk to our staff. Now, this is the main entrance, and the main entrance for the presentation is the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kazuko. Good afternoon, everybody. Dearest ladies and gentlemen, you can't imagine how thrilled I am to be here. But also very humbled, because I got off the plane Sunday evening, and the first image that I saw at the airport was, "Welcome to the Pearl of Africa." Yes, I'm in the Pearl of Africa. Nothing can go wrong from this moment on. And it didn't. This journey this week has been fantastic so far. Let me tell you a little story on how I got here now, in this moment. Dr. Manasseh here, he is someone to be really careful about. I had an online meeting with him, and I said, you know what, I'm a professor in entrepreneurship. I really like to coach young people, I like to work with students. I want to have an informal chat with your students. Low profile, small. Look at you. This isn't low profile nor small. And a couple of days later, he asked me, can you send me a smart picture of yourself? I said, huh? Why do you need this smart picture? Well, it's to make a poster of the guest lecture. I said, no. I want an informal chat. I want to know what triggers you guys in Uganda. I want to know what you are thinking about. I want to know what keeps you going. So yes, thank you, Dr. Manasseh, for setting this up. The presentation I will give today has a couple of chapters. First of all, I want to start with presenting the school that I work for, which is West. West comes from West Flanders. I am from the west part of Belgium. That's the first thing I want to do. I think it's polite when you have a crowd like this that you present yourselves, and of course also the institution you are working for. And the second part is, why are we on this project with our school? And then the third part is up to you. And I want to have a sort of Q&A, even though it may seem impossible with this big crowd, but you know what, we will try. Is that a deal for the agenda? Yes. Okay, let's go. Belgium. Who has been in Belgium before? Okay, well, it is a very small country. Who knows Belgium? Okay, I have a lot of work here to do. So, Belgium is situated in the heart of Europe. It's a very tiny, small country with only 11 million people living on 30,000 square kilometers. We live from mostly services economy, and only 3% of our country is busy doing agriculture. 3%. 70% is service economy, and all the rest is industry. So the west part there is where I am living, and I have the privilege to live near the ocean. We have the North Sea. We have like 60 kilometers of coastline. We work with a lot of partners worldwide. That's not so hard because we are so tiny, we need to work with a lot of partners worldwide. That's our strength. That's the strength of Belgian people. We are born networkers because we speak all languages, we adapt ourselves easily because we have had a lot of wars, we have had a lot of challenges, we have had a lot of economic crises, and we survived by adapting ourselves to the situation. So we are good networkers. The European institutions are all in Brussels. That's our head capital. Not all of them, but pretty. So these are the two towns where our campuses are situated. Bruges and Kortrijk, those are two towns that are like 40, 50 kilometers from each other. We're a public funded university. You will see and recognize a lot of similar elements. We're not that different. Maybe it's interesting to know that the students in Belgium, they need to pay a tuition fee of €1,000 a year. I don't know the amount in shilling, but it's 3.6 million shilling a year they have to pay as a tuition fee. This is Howest in a nutshell. So we have 800 employees, almost 9,000 students, and we deliver almost 2,000 degrees every year. We have 180 international partnerships, and we have a lot of international students coming from 84 countries to be precise. We also had Ugandan students in the past. And we are a member of the Kent University Association. Okay, I will go quickly through these slides. These are slides that show us all the degrees we are having. But pay attention to the titles, maybe, of the bachelor degrees we are organizing. Typical at our youth institution is that we work very closely with the labor market. And if we see that a certain profile is not fitting anymore with the skills required in the labor, we adapt the curriculum, we adapt the degree, or we adapt the program. So the business degrees are these. I am in the business management degree. Actually, I teach sales and marketing because I have a long background of a sales manager in an American multinational. And after that career, I wanted to share my experience with young people. That's why I made the shift towards education. Communication, journalism, and so on. Organization and management is also a degree that we are offering. Tourism and leisure management. We are very famous for our IT degrees, IT programs. And you see here that those titles, they probably don't look familiar, the ones you have. Maybe the applied computer science is the one that looks more to your computer services or computer services degrees. We have started a bachelor program 3 years ago about energy management. It's a full bachelor degree, only 3 years ago. Why is that? Well, in case you didn't know, we have a huge energy crisis at this moment. Especially in Europe, we have several crises, but energy crisis is definitely one we don't sleep of during the night. So energy management has been set up, giving an answer to these questions. Okay, and then also the human science and well-being degrees. Nursing, I think you recognize, social work, and of course the education programs. The sport and movement sciences degree is also a new one and a unique one in our country, because we are really investing, not me, but our government is really investing in preventing being ill instead of curing the illness. And that's why sport and movement sciences occurred 10 years ago. Okay, so the associate degrees, I will skip that, otherwise we'll have some timing problems. So as you can see, we are strong in creative courses. Remember the word creative, because it will be very important in the rest of your career. programs in English, of course. We have English taught semesters, and here you have the list. I'll be happy to share the presentation afterwards with you or through your professors. But we have won some prizes. You know the Oscars. Oscars, the Oscar award winners for movies. Well, we also have similar kind of contests like Oscars for education institutions and education programs. Well, we won in 2017, 18 and 21 with one particular program, and it's called Digital Arts and Entertainment. It's a very famous program now, where students learn how to do or how to develop a game. Who plays video games here? Come on, be honest. You all play games on your phone, maybe on your laptop. So our students develop these kind of games. So the gaming industry, like FIFA or Fortnite or Angry Birds even. What's a famous game here? Do you know a famous game? Clash of Clans? I don't know. So they develop. Okay. Innovation policy in Howest. It's not only in Howest, by the way. Every institution in our country, every education institution, from primary to secondary to higher education, is busy with an innovation policy. We need to. We need to because we have very competitive markets. Especially in higher education. We all want a lot of students as a higher education. So we need to be innovative, we need to be creative, and we need to be entrepreneurs ourselves to attract all these students. We want to anticipate the future. We want to have the programs that fit the labor market. We also have a strong regional development, and I guess that's very similar with MUST. MUST is also very anchored into this city, into the district, into southwestern Uganda. And that's why we like MUST so much, because we have fully trust in the search, the continuous search of your professors to get you to the labor market as fast as possible to tackle all the challenges you have here. We work strongly together with local SMEs and non-profit organizations. I will give you an example later on. And we have a strong focus on entrepreneurship, because at every campus we have business incubators. We even have 2 staff members on our payroll that coach student entrepreneurs while they're still studying through our incubators. Let me show you this slide and look at the first sentence and see if you recognize it, because in Europe it's the case. 65% of our children will have a job that does not exist yet. Research has shown in Europe that 65% of our children will have a job that will not exist, that does not exist yet at this moment. I have 3 children. An 18-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl. And if I ask them, yeah, what do you want to be later on? I don't know. Economy is changing so fast. The titles of the jobs, they're changing. The competences are changing so fast. We can't predict the job title or the job content we will have within 10 years. When they were small, they said, yeah, like a football player, or a teacher, because I was a teacher, and you look at your parents, and you copy the profession of the parents, right? But it is the it's very interesting to work in education because we train our students to be future-proof. And it's not only about the hard skills and the maths and the accounting, it is also about the soft skills, the skills that will teach you how to survive after you have graduated. It's the attitude of lifelong learning that we try to teach our students. Because we need more international and intercultural competences. The digitalization, the digital media is growing very fast. We need to use them in our businesses. So we stimulate these kind of situations in our program, and we just let our students try to. Of course, we coach them, we give them some information, but not too much, because they need to find out themselves how to solve it. So we are preparing them for the 21st century skills, and I have found this very interesting picture that shows all the 21st century skills a 21st century learner, that's you, needs to have. So when we look at our curriculum, we always look at these skills our students need to have. Above that, we speak with the industry and we try to figure out, okay, what is lacking in our program? Is it Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or all these other tools? So the strong interaction with the labor market is also up to you. How many students here already have strong liaisons with the labor market you will enter in? If you don't have any, don't worry, it's not too late, but you have to start with it. You have to start with it yourselves. Because that's what they will need. I have seen figures that 700,000 but there are no 700,000 jobs in the market. So you need to stand out if you want one of them. I saw 1,000 jobs are in the market, official ones. So if you want them, you have to stand out. You have to work on your personal career already. And it happens now. Don't wait till you're graduated. What can you do? Well, you can already start doing some students' internships. I guess you have them here in your curriculum. Make sure you have a good one. Don't go for the easy ones and the quick wins. I speak from experience. I have a lot of students that I have to coach during their internships. And as you have seen, we are a small country. And if we have to take a long distance to go to our jobs, it costs money, fuel prices are huge, they don't have a car, they don't get there. And I say, that's all excuses. If you really want to, do it. It's only an internship. How long does it take? It's more than 3 months, 4 months. If it's at the end of the country, figure it out how you will do it. It's now that you have to do it. It's only for a small period of time. So I have the same conversations with my own students. Okay, projects. Projects. The magic word or the buzzword, projects. Yeah, let's do some projects. We can learn from projects. Yes, you can definitely learn from projects. And projects are done mostly, in our case, in teams. teams of 3 to 4 people. And the challenge is never the content of the project, but the challenge is always working together with the other people. Yes, that one he doesn't do anything, and that one he didn't meet the deadline, and I had to do it all by myself. Do you recognize it? Well, you also need to work on teamwork skills. It is very important that you learn now to work on these soft skills. So projects, yes. Project-based learning, yes, I love it. I am the queen of the projects at Howest, but it is very important that you do it well. Okay, then we also have research. I am also, apart from my teaching job in sales and marketing and market research, I'm also a researcher and everything that has to do with the Generation Z. Do you know the term Generation Z? Yes? No? Some body language, please. Yes? No? Generation Z is the population under 26 years old. So it is the cohort. We have different generations. And I am also a researcher in how to activate Generation Z. I will also come back to that later in my presentation. Okay, so as a recap, we have 3 big domains. I am in the company and organization one, and the rest you have heard. Yes, but what am I doing here? Well, a couple of years ago, I had an informal chat with a colleague of mine. And I said, Lies, what did you study? I forgot. I studied economics, economic sciences. And during our studies, we have to choose a specialization, a minor. And I said, well, I chose development economics, economics of developing countries. Oh, interesting, interesting. I said, yes, very interesting, but I didn't do anything with it. I graduated and I started working in a bank. And all the insights I gained during my study time of developing economics, I didn't do anything with it. Okay, that's a pity, he said. 1 year later, he sends me an email. Hey, Lies, there's a call for a project together with the VUB on youth entrepreneurship in Uganda. I remember having a chat with you on your studies, economics, developing economics. Isn't that something for you? I said, this must be karma, because I never did anything with it. I graduated in 1997. And I said, oh, that's ages ago. I don't know anything anymore. Oh, it's okay. You have the right soft skill package. Okay. You do fine. And I'm still grateful for him that he thought of me, and I'm still grateful that we had this informal chat. I love informal chats. That's why I wanted to have one with you. But minds are like parachutes. They only function when they are open. Right? Let your minds be like a parachute, like an open parachute. Because when your parachute is open, you land on a decent way. If it's not, it will crash. It's not only that, but if it's open, you can have a look, an overview of the world when you jump out of the plane and your parachute goes open. I never did it in my life, I'm too scared. But you all can imagine it. You can easily see the scenery you are flying over, having some thoughts, and then land on the floor, and then you say, hallelujah, I have an idea. I think that's what it's about when you jump out of that plane with this open parachute. But this project we are running, and we have like 6 sub-projects. But the project number 5, which I am in, is about youth entrepreneurship. And you see here the date, April 5, 22. That was when I was here last year to formulate our mission. The mission on how can we stimulate youth entrepreneurship here in Uganda. How can we do it? And we sat down for days, and we put it all in a file, and we allocated the budget. And now we are ready to open our parachute and start with it. So, what is our goal? We want increased youth employability through skilling, innovations, experiential learning, and technology transfer. Ambitious, right? Yes, it is. I think so too. I'm a little bit scared actually, because we have a lot on our plate. Fortunately, we have 12 years to do it. So next year I'll be back and see what everything and see what has happened, and I hope I can see you all again, because we have some budget and we have some time to actually do very interesting things with youth. So these are the projects more into detail. We want a multidisciplinary ecosystem. We want to upgrade innovation and business incubation infrastructure and so on. Okay, all good and well. But a university is but a university. Do you know what I'm trying to say with that? We offer you the framework. We offer you courses. We offer you opportunities. We offer you projects. We offer you internships. We offer you a lot of things. Things you don't realize. How lucky you are to be offered. If you don't do anything with all the opportunities you get during your student life, then nothing happens. It's the same in Belgium. We offer them huge opportunities. But if you only go to school to follow the courses, to study the material, to fill in the exams and to go for just pass, you will also graduate, no problem. But if you go for the extra mile, if you go for the lifelong learning, then you have built an attitude. Then you have more, because that's where the fun is. You should have fun. Really. While you are studying, while you are learning, while you are working together with your peers on cases and exercises and courses, when you are having difficulties, you should go to your peers and you have to make fun. While you are having fun, you will learn more. There's a lot of research about that one. I don't invent it. People that are having fun learn more. So be open for new opportunities and ideas. If you are having it now, you will have it later in your life and in your possible career as well. It's not only for you, it's not only for Belgian students, it's for every youth in the world. You need to do it for yourself as well. You are all privileged to sit here. Yesterday we drove to Rubirizi. I think that deserves an applause, right? Rubirizi. Who is from Rubirizi? Congratulations. Well, you're from a very beautiful district. I saw magnificent tea plantations and banana plantations, and I said, oh, wow, where am I? And then we entered an NGO, Prof, maybe you know it, where they help dropouts to skill so that they can have an income. And then we left the beautiful roads and I saw the real world. And I thought, wow, again. So you have a lot of challenges here in this country. You are with, I thought, 50 million, approximately 50 million Ugandans. 70% is lower than 35 years old. Simple statistics say in 2050 you will be 100 million. That's a big challenge. You need to feed those people, you need to house those people. And when I drove back, or when we drove back from Ruirizi to Mbarara, I was thinking, how is this country going to do that? This is a huge challenge. And that's why I'm here in this project. Not that I can change it immediately by doing this, but I am not alone. I have you. You're needed. You're needed. So, I have a little of experiment. I hope it works. And what do you think entrepreneurship is about? Normally the interaction starts now. But since you are so many, I have tried to do it online. I don't know if you can scan this QR code. If not, you can go to woonclap.com with your phone and you can answer that question that will appear. So this is something you can try. Scan the QR code or go to woonclap. That's WOOCLAP.com and the event code is BDNKPS. Did you got it? So we have to first www.wooclap.com.
The youngest.
And the event code is PD, so P from Belgium, D from Denmark, N from Norway, K from Croatia, P from Poland, and S from Spain. Those are European countries. Yeah? No? Does it work? BDNKPS. Belgium, Norway, Belgium, Denmark, Norway, Croatia, Poland, Spain. BDNKPS. That's the event code. I see some of the answers coming in. That's good. Don't be distracted by the answers. Give your own answer. And write it in the right way. That's important. So which word do you think of? So this is the first question. 4 more questions will follow. So don't put your phone far away. You will need it later on. Okay. The bigger the word is on the screen, the more people have given that answer. So I see already one big word. That means that a lot of you guys think about money when they hear entrepreneurship. What a surprise! Really? I didn't think that that would be number 1. I see other big words. Innovation. That's true. But I have a bit of a problem with the buzzword innovation. You know why? Innovation, they stay sometimes in between walls. They don't they don't get commercialized. Plus, a lot of people, a lot of students think I have to invent something. That's not true. You have different kinds of innovations. You have very small innovations, we call it incremental innovations, that can make a huge difference. We have process innovation. That means that you innovate the process of how it's been made, of how it's been transported, of how it's been sold. And of course, you also have market innovation. The markets are changing from physical markets to digital markets. That's also a big opportunity. Okay, but money is still the greatest word. Despite my, and also business, enterprise, solutions. Yes, thank you for your input here. In this way, it's a little bit interactive, right? Yes. Okay. Self-employment, arranging, making impact. Okay, we're on the same level. Okay. The European Committee, so that's the big European government, they have done a lot of research in the topic of entrepreneurship. And they have a definition for it. So the definition we use is entrepreneurship is when you act upon opportunities and ideas and transform them into value for others. The value that is created can be financial, cultural, or social. So to be honest, that's what I was missing a bit in the word clouds before. But I will say that realize of our impact, that we can put it as value. Okay? So this is the intercom, they call it, because it comes from entrepreneurial competences. So it is a competence framework on which a lot of organizations, not only in Europe, by the way, also in Africa and America and Asia, they work with this intercom framework to see if others. So the Intercom framework is split into 3 competence areas and into 5 specific competences. These are the 3 areas we are thinking about: the ideas and opportunities, the resources, and the into action. So this model, this framework, can help you because you can have an idea, you can have even resources, and I know that's a very tricky part. But if you don't go into action, nothing will happen. Right? You can go into action, you can have resources, but if you don't have an idea, nothing will happen. So that's the framework we are working on. Also in our courses, we use this framework to teach students about entrepreneurship and the competences they need. Okay, let's go to the womb lab again. Which competence is the most important one according to you in entrepreneurship? So let's have a look in the MOOC lab, online tool. And for those who can't participate, I will read them for you. Spotting opportunities is the first one. Mobilizing others is the second one. Financial and economic literacy is the third one. And ethical and sustainable thinking is the fourth one. Don't be distracted by the answers you see on the screen. Just give your answer yourself. I see 42 people participating, so I will give them a minute to answer the question here. Which competence is the most important one according to you in entrepreneurship? We're almost there. And I think we have a winner already. The first one, spotting opportunities. Spotting opportunities, according to you, may seem as the most important one. Well, to be honest, all competences are important. There was no right or wrong, there was no winner, gotcha, but it's of course a mix of a lot of things. This is the Intercom framework, where you have all the competences. So the ones that I mentioned there before are here on this framework. I will not go into them or into detail. It's something you have to read at ease back home to let it in. But it is important that you take a look at it for yourself. Some of them, most of them even, you have already somewhere. Really, don't underestimate yourself. You have it in you, normally. But you need some skills maybe, or some coaching, or some mentoring to develop them. And don't be afraid to ask your peers or your teachers or entrepreneurs you know for tips and tricks and how they did it. Because it's for everybody something else. Everybody here in this room has a different path and different skill set, right? Value creation is in any sphere of life. value creation is in any sphere of life, not only in your student life, but also apart from that. You are always in the possibility to create value. Everywhere you go, to whom you talk to, you can create value. And also that part is for everybody else different. Okay, let me go through that very quickly. That's something, reading material afterwards. Every competence area has its own competences. Okay? Entrepreneurship, I think you all agree with me, it is important. Okay? Can I have a yes? Yes. Thank you. That was to train your vocal muscles here. Why? It creates jobs. Do you need jobs here? Okay. So far, so good? It attacks poverty. Do we need to attack poverty here? Yes. I guess so too. It brings prosperity. Yes. Innovations are waiting for entrepreneurs to be launched. A lot of good ideas, they got stuck in a cupboard. They don't go to the market. They don't see daylight. They are waiting for other people to be launched or to go to the market. So that's your task as a youngster. You have the energy and you know probably better how to do it. Plus, digitization is to be implemented. You know how to work with a computer. You know how to work with social media. Use it to become more entrepreneurial. That's your job. That's the job of Generation Z. That's you. These are the same jobs my students have in Belgium. They have to train the older generations on topics of computer and social media. It's the same. It is about being entrepreneurial. Not everybody here in this room will set up a business on its own. I never set up a business on my own. I never did. But still, I feel entrepreneurial. I'm here. I think that's a sign of being entrepreneurial. So it's an attitude, and it's about a mindset. So everywhere you go, think about being entrepreneurial. Okay? School students need entrepreneurship skills to be entrepreneurial. And the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. I didn't invent it. It was Walt Disney. You all know Walt Disney from the movies and the cartoons and all that. So the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. That's a value or an attitude you can have in daily life as well. Yes, clean up your room. I will do it tomorrow. No, you can do it today. You have time now. I will do it tomorrow. Do it now. I will study tomorrow. No, you have time now. Start now. A lot of students in my class, they have the same problem. We call it behavior of postponing. The postponing behavior problem. We even organize workshops for our students for the postponing behavior problem. Our students, they enter the first semester, and during the first week, they are obliged to follow the workshop of postponing behavior. Time management, very important. So challenges are gifts that force us to search for a new center of gravity. Don't fight them, just find a new way to stand. I didn't invent it, it was Oprah Winfrey. You all know her. And the secret to getting ahead is getting started is from Henry Ford, the person that invented the Ford car. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. Mark Zuckerberg, the big boss of Instagram and Facebook and all other digital tools you are using every day. So it is about engaging Generation Z. These are the cohorts we are using of the different generations. So the baby boomers are the ones that were born between 46 and 64. Your parents will probably, or in the baby boomers generation or in Generation X, think of it, they are born between 65 and 1980. Those are mostly the two generations that are the parents of you, Generation Z. In between we have Generation Y, we call them the millennials. And after you, after Generation Z, you have the next generation. That's called Generation Alpha. Those are the ones that are digital natives. They don't have any knowledge of other non-digital device. So these generations are, yes, they are now working all together in the same atmosphere, in the same labor market, and that gives challenges. Generation Z wants to go forward. Go, 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 go. They are impatient. They are ambitious. They want to go ahead, etc., etc. Generation X says, oh, whoa, 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 not too fast. Think it through. Make a plan. First plan, then start. Generation Z says, no, 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 start, start, start. I want to start. I have had this guest lecture today of a Belgian lady, and she says, it's up to you, we have to start. Now, now, now. But the thing is, these different generations, they all have their strengths. They all have their weaknesses. And the most amazing thing happens when they all work together and they all learn from each other and respect each other. So that is why I put this slide here, because the weakness of the older generations are the skills in digital tools, and but they are more patient and they go more into depth. So you as a youngster must understand that. You have to be patient with the older generations and learn them and give them explanation on why something happens this or so. Because that's what the older organizations want to know. Why? Okay. Is Generation Z more entrepreneurial? Let's have a look on what your thoughts are on this one. Do you think youngsters are more entrepreneurial than older generations you have just seen? We have done research with our Generation Z lab. I have a Generation Z lab in Belgium. And we have done research on the perception of Generation Z by older generations. So we have done a survey, and 1,500 people older than 30 years filled it in and gave them their opinion about you, youngsters. So I will share the results immediately after this slide. So I guess we have already some idea of the answer. Most of you think Generation Z is more entrepreneurial. Well, our research showed that 40% of the 30-year-olds thought Generation Z is more entrepreneurial. That's not above half, so you didn't pass. So 60% of generations older than 30 don't think Generation Z is more entrepreneurial. So you have to start with your personal branding if you want to prove the opposite. In my opinion, I think Generation Z is more entrepreneurial. When I think of myself, ages ago, when I was a Generation Zer, I was not that entrepreneurial. I just went to school, I studied, I went out a lot, I graduated, and I got my degree. Of course, our labor market is different than here. We get job offerings during our last year. So we are very spoiled, and we don't realize it. Afterwards, when I was graduated and I started working, and I wasn't very happy. I thought, is this the real world? But how this story ends is in another slide. So older generations, they want to learn from them. They want to learn from you. Older generations say of you that you are better in multitasking. Is that correct? Yes? You are good in multitasking? Okay. So how many tasks can you do at the same time? 3 to 4? What is multi? Okay. And how many tasks of all these tasks you are doing at the same time are done properly? So, but anyhow, you have the perception or the reputation to be better in multitasking, and I agree. Your mind is still very much awake, and it is possible to do it. You are eager to learn. You are too much consumed by your smartphone. That's what all the generations say. You are stuck with a smartphone in your hand. And I see that some of you have that problem at the moment. So you are too much consumed by social media. You can be on your smartphone if you share the ideas that you are hearing at this moment now with others. That's no problem. You are way more empowered, and you are not afraid to speak up for yourselves. And all the generations, they have problems with that, when you speak up for yourself. So just to let you know that you do it in a right way. But all the generations enjoy working with you because they learn a lot from you. So make your own path. If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. Entrepreneurship is neither a science nor an art, it is a practice. A theoretical course on entrepreneurship? Yes, okay, but you need to practice it as well. Otherwise, it's just a course you have studied. So make your own path. If university gives you the theoretical framework of entrepreneurship, make then the decision to practice it on your own. But not everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. There's also something like intrapreneurship, being entrepreneurial, like I told you already. How do we try to stimulate entrepreneurship during our curriculum in Howest? And actually, I'm not talking about Howest alone. All of the universities in Belgium are doing this. Entrepreneurship is key, especially in Belgium, because we don't have a lot of agriculture and industry, so we have to do it in a different way. We have to be entrepreneurial. So during semester 1, apart from the workshop they have to follow on the postponing behavior problem, they also have to describe business processes of an entrepreneurial company. That's a task they receive. They describe business processes of an entrepreneurial company. During semester 2, they set up a fair. That's with 200 students. It's a huge fair, and different teams make a stand on the fair where they business will look like in 2030. So they have to describe, for instance, artificial intelligence, what it will do with businesses in 2030, so 7 years from now. That's what they do in semester 2. In semester 3, they have to brainstorm about a solution to a problem. They have to make a fictitious business idea about it. Just an idea. That's semester 2. In semester 4, they have to set up a lean business plan. Not a big paper with data and all that and lots of market research, no. It's a lean business plan where they develop a minimum viable product, they test it in the market, they iterate it, they test it again, so that at the end of the semester, they have a minimum viable product. Semester 5, they do traineeships 1 day in a week in a company, and in semester 6, they do traineeship the whole semester. And then they graduated. That's how we try to stimulate entrepreneurship. We are very keen on the design thinking methods. Who knows it? Design thinking method? Okay. All right. Next time when I'm here, I'll be happy to give you a workshop on this method. It's an iteration of phases on how to get to a solution of a problem. And it's not only to invent new products, it's been used for lots of problems, also procedures or processes. You learn how to use a helicopter view by using this business model canvas. I think this is familiar. Business model canvas, the worldwide model. We start already in secondary schools with business model canvas, so that they really get to know each very well. The go-to-market plan, we do this in a fictitious way, of course. Not every product can be entered into the market. You need capital, you need a factory to make your product, but we try to learn them how to enter the market by a fictitious product, a fictitious idea. The supply chain management and the sales and marketing, those are two sectors who are really changing rapidly. In my opinion, very interesting sectors. You will always have a job if you are specialized in those two sectors. The digital train, don't miss it. Don't miss the digital train. It's only becoming longer and longer, and the train will only go faster and faster. So make sure you're on it. And then I have brought two friends. I have brought Valentijn with me, that's the left guy, and I have brought Michiel with me. Those were two of my students. And they went through all the 6 semesters I just told you. You can do it easily, just passing and graduating. But those 2, they said, well, I can work very well with a computer. And during the first semester, they didn't know each other. And they had this assignment in the first semester, and they were the only 2 that were left over in the classroom, because they had to do the assignment by 2. They said, yeah, well, do you want to do it with me? Oh, yeah, I want to do it with you. Okay. What's your name? Michiel. What's your name? Valentin. Okay. Nice to meet you. And that's where their journey began. They noticed that they were both very fond of computers. And they started a very small company, very, very small, making websites. So during semester 2 and 3, they made websites besides their studies. And in semester 5 and 6, they got the opportunity to work on the campus in the incubation center on their company. And then they earned some money with it, they learned a lot by it. And do you know what happened afterwards, when they graduated? They stopped their company. They just stopped because they learned enough. Valentin, he wanted to become a judge, so he started his master in law at VUB, by the way. And Michiel, he was a straight A student, he got job offers, enough, well paid, thanks to this company he set up. So this is also a quote I would like to share with you. And I give this quote in the beginning of my based courses. I always say, tell me and I forgot, or I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. It's not a quote by me, but it's by Benjamin Franklin, US president. So if you are involved, it will stick. The experience will stick. That's why I give you this example of Michiel and Valentin. When I met them a year after their graduation, I said, how is your company doing? Oh, we quit. We stopped it. I was surprised. I said, what? You invested so many hours and time in it. During the night you worked and so hard. You earned money with it. Why did you stop? Well, we were done. We learned from it. That was a good exercise. So I wanted to share this with you because the extracurricular activities gave them trust and gave them opportunities for the rest of their lives. So personal branding, start with your career during your student life. That's now. And start with your visibility. Who is on LinkedIn? Okay, LinkedIn, I'm not sure if it's important here, but LinkedIn is a very interesting platform to be on because all of the big companies and the industries are on it as well. They share their advertisements, they share their job vacancies, they share interesting content, they share a lot of information to attract high potentials. It's for free. Why shouldn't you be on it? It's like a social media platform, like Instagram, but only more professional. Don't put pictures of your cat on LinkedIn. Take initiative in organizations, and YouTube is your new best friend. Not for the fun videos of cats falling down. It's also, of course, very entertaining. But on YouTube you can find a lot of information on how, or maybe you can fill in the gaps. It's a bit weird as an higher education teacher to promote YouTube, right? That doesn't make any sense, right? I'm not sure. I also watch YouTube to update my courses. The thing is that you need to check the source very well and don't take everything for granted. Check the source you are learning from. Yes, my story. I began with it and I didn't end it. So I studied economics, economic sciences. As I told you, I went out a lot. I was a party animal during my student life. Yes, I confess. I had a lot of fun. I was not busy with my career at all. So everything I have told you, I didn't do. So, I'm not sure what is... Yeah, actually that's a traditional part of student life during, in Belgium. And after graduation, I started in a bank. And after the first day, my first day at my new job, I came home and I said, and my parents asked me, how did it go? I said, what a boring day. Oh my God, did I go to university to do that? No way that I'm going to do that the rest of my life. So boring. What am I doing with my young life? And my parents, they were never angry with me, never. Unless on that very only day. They said, well, who do you think you are? We've invested in your studies. You have done everything you had to do as a student. Okay, you graduated, you have your degree and you have good notes, good marks, well done, but now the real world starts. What do you think it is? You will stay in that job. And then in French we call it point final, final point. I was angry with them. I moved out. I said, oh, you know what? I'm too old to stay at home. I was 23, not that old. But I said, okay, if that's the thing here, I'm gone. But their words kept circling in my head. And I stayed at the bank for 2.5 years. Those were very long and unhappy years of my life. It was not my cup of tea. After that, I started in recruiting, working together with people, recruiting, HR, sales, and that was in an American company. It was by accident, and that was my cup of tea. And I got promoted very fast because I liked it. I had fun. I was proud of my job. I made a difference in that job. So I became a sales manager. And I did that job with great pleasure for 11 years. But then, you know, as a woman, it's not so easy to combine everything. So girls, if you have children and you want a career, and your husband is also working on his career, what do you think that happens? You have to make choices. And then one day we sat down because we have 3 children. And the children were small. And I don't have a nanny or anything like that. I did it all by myself. But that's not doable. You can't do everything well. So I thought, okay, being a sales manager in a very, it's like 50, 60 hours per week that you work. You have 3 children you don't see at night. You have a husband you don't see during the week. So you have to make choices. And then I thought, okay, with my experience that I have now, and I also have a teacher degree. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Also, during my studies in economics, I also had a teacher degree at the same time. So, for case, you never know, was my backup plan. You never know what happens. Because my parents were also teachers. And they said, yes, do it. You never know, Lies, you never know. So, yes, I have a teacher degree as well. Maybe that's something for me, being a teacher. But I was in a golden cage. You know what that means? You are trapped. You have a good life, but you earn money, you have a safe income, a safe situation, but you're not happy. And you know if you leave the cage, you will give it up, a safety. But I did, I jumped. And I had a fixed income, and I switched it to an uncertain income. So I did, because I took a sabbatical leave for 8 months, and I took a temporary job of 8 months in Howest in education. And after those 8 months, I said to my employer, I then will return. Don't worry, I will return. It's just, I need something else. I will take a sabbatical of 8 months, and I'll be back. But I didn't go back. I didn't go back. I said after those 8 months, well, you know what? I like it here. I like working with young people. I like working with other teachers, thinking of how can we teach well? How can we be innovative and entrepreneurial ourselves in our jobs? So I left the golden cage, I jumped, I lost all my financial certainties in life, I went to education, and I was happy again. So I'm now here, and I couldn't be happier. Sometimes you need to take one step back in order to go 2 steps forward. So don't be afraid to go 1 step back. You never know that you go 2 steps forward very easily and very fastly. So are you ready to make a difference? That's the last one. But you can say it out loud. So I have 3 answers on this question. Are you ready to make a difference? The first one is, to give the answer. The first one is, oh yes. The second one is, no way. And the third one is, maybe. Okay, I will ask you the same question now. Are you ready to make a difference? All right, I think that gives an answer to this question. And I see that also the WOOC Lab confirms this question. I want to end with a special call to the ladies in this room. It's more challenging to be a lady in this world. Yes or no? Ah, even men confirm this. This is fantastic. Even men confirm that it's more challenging as a woman. Thank you. But don't be afraid. Really. I'm just a simple teacher. But I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I feel like I'm entrepreneurial in what I'm doing. And that's what it is about. Please speak with other people. Let them help you. because, in my opinion, women have a lot to offer. Research has been shown that female CEOs, you know what a CEO is, right? Female CEOs, or companies of female CEOs, perform better than companies with male CEOs. People, employees, are more happy with companies of female CEOs. Just saying. I can send you the research report, by the way, if you don't believe me. So, there is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. Try it. Go for it. Uganda needs you to stay the pearl of Africa. You have a reputation. You claim to have this reputation because you promised people when they enter the airport that you are the pearl of Africa. But if your population will be doubled by 2050, you have to make sure you're still the pearl of Africa. So Uganda has a lot of potential to become a modern economy or to become the example of Africa. But the people have to accomplish it. Succeed. We
Thank you so much, Professor Liz. That was big. A big round of applause for Professor Liz. It's been so touching. It's been so well blended. But before we go further, if anyone has a question or a comment, Professor Liz is all ears, ready to answer. You just put up your hand and you ask or give a comment. The floor is yours.
I'll stick around for an hour or two, so you can also come to me one-to-one, no problem.
Thank you so much, Professor. I will ask, have a question? Okay.
Thank you, Prof, for such entertaining session. Jeffrey Bwire is my name. I have two questions. One, I'll start with the comment. In this part of the world where we are so much embedded in families, and culture is such a strong component. So, just from the presentation you have made about those generations, and we realized that from the model you presented, you had indicated the resources, taking action, but also seizing the opportunity. We find that there are opportunities, but you need to get resources from the people from a generation that's not yours. These are people who are taking it slow. You are coming from a generation that you think should move fast. We have been trained that as young people, you should be obedient even to a lousy leader or elder. So if you become rebellious, then you are labeled a problem. So how would you advise these young people to reconcile that and move forward? Thank you.
You always need to respect your parents. I respected my parents by doing this job in the bank for 2.5 years. I also did it. And of course, you can respect your parents by different kind of ways. If you explain it that you have a task to be done by school or by the university you are in, that you need to break out, that you need to do the extra mile. It will give conflicts, that's for sure. People, parents and children have conflicts all the time. But as long as you do it respectfully, and if you can prove that you did it right, that you were right at the end, maybe it will be not that conflictuous after all. But of course, you have to take into consideration that you will have conflicts and discussions with the older generations. That's for sure. But do it respectfully. These are conflicts that's all over the world. Even in Belgium, it is like that. You have to respect your parents. Your parents pay for your studies, or they pay parts for your studies. Yeah, it's the same. But it takes time. And I hope that the older generations here in Uganda see that there needs to be, that changes are needed. But it's also your task to convince them. It has to come from bottom up. Not top down, but bottom up.
Thank you so much. Any other question or comment? I loved it, Professor, that you gave your personal experiences and you are very honest. You helped us to know who you are. I believe most of us feel that we know you much more, as if we've known you for some years. So that's really, really nice. And the way you use quotes, so we should stop talking and start doing. That is beautiful. So we will shortly have one of us, a very special one, give a vote of thanks to Professor Liz. But we are being live streamed. We are on air through IUC TV and Smart TV. And kindly always follow MUST in our Twitter. Use our Twitter handle. Anyone who knows the MUST Twitter handle, please say it out loud. At what? At Mbarara UST. If each of us retweeted what has been tweeted officially, we would be marketing MUST so much. So kindly open up. If you're not on Twitter, get an account, go on LinkedIn, and make your visibility bigger.
I need one favor. Can I take a selfie with all of you to put it on my LinkedIn page? Right? Okay. Can you all raise your hands so that it's like you're actually like to be here?
You raise your hands, she'd like to take a selfie with a smile. We now invite Mr. Geoffrey Akugizibwe, a student in the Faculty of Business and Management Sciences, to give a vote of thanks to you, Professor. You're welcome, Akugizibwe.
Thank you very much, our MC of today, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to recognize the following people: Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Liz, actually Professor Mbabazi, they gave her a new name. The Flemish team that came with Professor Mbabazi, fellow students, good evening. I'm tasked with a very small thing to extend our vote of thanks to the Flemish team, especially Professor Liz and the Flemish team together. So we as Mbara University of Science and Technology, we do appreciate for your time you've dedicated. Ladies and gentlemen, when we were studying communication skills, they taught us one thing, always to listen. So I request for your silence. So thank you very much, Professor, once again, and the Vanhaelemeesch team for the time you've given to us and the support as Generation Z. So we believe that Generation Z, if we are involved, we promise that we shall be able to learn. So that is our prayer and our wish. And we promise that we shall be able to learn. And to us students, we need to embrace entrepreneurship since it's our Generation Z which seems to be more active these days in order to solve their daily problems. So it's upon us, the question and the challenge comes back to us to always be active and be willing to learn. Because as one day was carrying out research, they said Generation Z hates one thing, is to read. And we can't be entrepreneurs if we can't be able to carry out research by ourselves. So the second one, that we as the business faculty, that is Faculty of Business and Science Management, of course for us, we embrace entrepreneurship, and the rest of the other faculties are here. So I urge everyone, if you get an opportunity, don't sleep on it. Go grab it so that will be the lifestyles in the future. So without taking a lot of time, once again, Professor Liz, we thank you very much, and the Vanhaelemeesch team that you've come with, that we are happy as Mbara University of Science and Technology, in particular Faculty of Business and Management Science, where we are right now, for having granted us this opportunity to be with us. Once again, I'm Geoffrey Kizibu, doing Bachelor Science in Accounting and Finance, third year. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Thank you, members, for staying to the end and for being active. We are so grateful to the MAST IUC-UCoBS project leadership. Professor Kazoba, thank you so much for championing this. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Man, the leader for Project 5, that is focused on improved youth employability. This is just the start. You will be more engaged, and we request that you'll always stand up and not just listen, but you will act. I also would like to thank everyone who organized, the staff members and the students. Thank you, Dr. Sarah Nabachwa and the team members that you had. I believe that we will have a different year. 2023 will not stay the same. Is that true? I like that. Succeed we? For God and? Thank you so much. We can just out for a group photo and we call it a day. Thank you, AIT TV. Thank you, Smart 24 TV, and thank you all.
You're watching AIT TV, empowering you. You're watching AIT TV, empowering you. You're watching a Hit 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 TV, empowering you.